Today, we're going back to the early hours of May 28th, 1998, to look at Phil Hartman's house right here. This is his residence in Anico, California, where Phil Hartman, actor and comedian, who was famous for being on SNL and a lot of famous comedies during the 90s, he lived right here. And this is the house where he was killed. I'm going to recap the story in a second, but I just want you to look at how beautiful this house is. I know you don't see much, but this house is really beautiful. And once you see the photos that I'm going to put to the screen right now, this is a beautiful, beautiful home. He shared this house with his wife, Brynn Hartman, and on the night of May 27th, that same year, 1998, Brynn Hartman went to this restaurant. This is an Italian restaurant, and she went on to this restaurant to eat, where it is believed that she took some cocaine and some antidepressants. So it's believed that she went pretty crazy after coming home to this restaurant, because it's really short. It's a really short amount of time from the house that they lived in, but that's right here. Actually, it's really short. You can walk over there, which is pretty crazy. But this is Phil Hartman's house, where Brynn returned home from going to the restaurant, which is only like a 5-minute walk. And it was around 1 a.m. in the morning when she returned home. However, that wasn't her first stop, because before she went back home, she drove from the restaurant all the way over here to Studio City, to Ron Douglas's house. This is his house right here in Studio City. I don't think he lives here anymore, but this is his house right here. And she came to talk to him, and he noticed that she was clearly drunk or on some drugs, so he told her to go home, and she did. So she went back home. Let's reset this to north real quick. There we go. She went back to her house, which is right here. It's pretty far away from Studio City, but it's not that far. Right here is the house, the Hartman residence. And she went back here, and she immediately got into an argument with Phil Hartman, who had been home pretty much the entire night. Their 2 kids were asleep at the time. We'll get back into that later, but so they get into an argument. Nobody really knows what they got into, but Phil Hartman had a tendency to just go to sleep when they were having arguments. So if he knew that she wasn't going to calm down or whatnot, he would just go to bed. And to his mind, it would be over the next morning. So he went to bed, and then the time is around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Brynn Hartman, just high out of her mind on cocaine and all sorts of drugs, she shoots her husband 3 times, once in the head, which proved to be fatal. So after this, she immediately went back to Ron Douglas's house after killing her husband. She went right here, back to Studio City, and she told him everything. She told him that she killed him, and pretty much right away, she left pretty much right away to his house, and he didn't believe her at first. He was like, nah, there's no way. So she showed him the gun, and then together they went to, I should also note that they were having an affair, by the way, at the time, Ron Douglas and Brynn Hartman. So that's why she was all the time, going to his house or whatnot. But so they went back to the Hartman residence, and because he still didn't believe her, he thought it was just a joke or something. So he went inside. He saw the body of Phil Hartman, now already dead for like an hour or something, and he immediately called the cops. I think you can find the 911 call that Ron Douglas made. I don't know, I haven't listened to it, but I've seen some people I've seen some audio recordings online, and yeah. So if you want to check that out, you can. Um, but yeah, this is the house right here where all this happened. The cops came, and by the way, throughout all this, um, their two children are asleep in the house while all this happened. They didn't wake up by the gunshots or whatnot. They're fast asleep. 6 years old and 8 years old. Imagine that. Jesus. And then Brynn Hartman, she came home with, of course, Ron, and she barricaded herself in their bedroom where she killed Phil Hartman, as Ron Douglas called the cops. So then cops came to the scene, and they were wanting to get her out of the house, whatnot, get her safe, and that's when she shot herself. She committed suicide beside her husband in the same bedroom. All this while the children were still asleep. And now we're getting into the morning hours, like 7 a.m. of May 28th, 1998. So, just a really tragic story about one of the funniest comedians in Hollywood at the time. It's a real shame, and drugs can do some crazy things to people, and so stay away from drugs, I guess. But it is believed that she was really high during this. But Brynn Hartman, she was known to have a lot of issues, depression, and a lot of aggressive behavior. So yeah, they were married for around 11 years. So but a lot of affairs on both sides during that time. So it wasn't exactly a happy marriage. I can't say that, but so yeah, and I just think it's really sad about their two kids, and in one night everything changed. They lost their mother and their father in one night. It's crazy. It's really sad, and this story is just unbelievably tragic. So thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get back to the locations over here. So this is the Phil Hartman residence. Just a couple of, well, it's just a 5-minute walk. Not even that. It's a 3-minute walk to the restaurant where she went and possibly took the cocaine and some antidepressants. Then she went to Ron Douglas's house, apparently wanting to engage in an affair, and Ron Douglas declined. And then she went back to the Hartman house where she killed her husband in brutal fashion. And then she went back to Ron Douglas's house right here. She confessed. They went back. He saw the body. Ron Douglas saw the body. And he called the cops. And then she committed suicide. Brynn Hartman committed suicide. So yeah. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.